Hey guys, it's Jeremy from Moralis.io. Welcome to a new series. And I've gone dark mode because it's time to kick it up a notch and take a look at some React. So we'll be looking at some tips and tricks for integrating Moralis with React. We'll go over some hooks for queries and for cloud functions. So hope you guys enjoy it. As you probably figured out already, we'll be taking a look at building an Etherscan like app out of React. We want to be searching by address, displaying a bunch of transactions for that address, and other types of transactions like token transfers and maybe some ERC20 token transactions. Do some pagination. Should be a lot of fun. But so let's jump in. First thing we want to do is create a new server instance. I've got one here started already. I want to start by adding a server for mainnet because we'll be searching addresses on mainnet and displaying transactions for those addresses. The other thing we'll want to do is set up our dev environment. I'll be using Visual Studio Code. I've already got the repo set up because we have a repo for the YouTube tutorials. You'll probably want to start your own. But to get started, we'll call the React app script with npx create React app and Moralis-scan. I've already done that. And the other dependency we'll need is React router DOM. And you can install it like this with npm install React router DOM. Because we'll be using routes to do searches and to navigate between pages to emulate how it works on Etherscan. But before we do that, let's talk a bit about how we're going to do these searches. Switch back over to the dashboard and hop into the JavaScript console. We've been following the Cloud Functions series. We went over our paginated query for searching Ethereum addresses. And we populated that table by using the plugin for sync and watch address. But behind the scenes, it actually calls this cloud function called watch eth address. And we can leverage that to do our searches for an address on when a user puts that address in the search bar. The thing to watch out for, though, is when you copy an address, you're most likely going to see a mix of upper and lower cases. This is because a lot of addresses already have a checksum baked into it that produces these patterns of upper and lower case. And all of the addresses stored in Moralis are lowercase. So that's just something to watch out for if you've ever tried to search and match on addresses and wondered why nothing's coming up. It's because it's probably not all lowercase. So what we can do then is we can call this function watch eth address and wait till it finishes. This function only needs to be ever called once per address, because once it's watched, it will sync all transactions now and in the future. Let's run this and see how it works. Great. So that was pretty quick because I already searched this one before. You can see it comes up with a big list of transactions for that address. And these are all the values that come into these transactions table, timestamp, from to an address, gas, and all this other stuff. But if we go over to Etherscan here and back to the home page, click on the most recent block, transactions, and just grab a random address here. How about this guy here from Uniswap? Probably has a bunch of transactions. Copy that address here. Back to the dashboard. So this is a completely different address. There'll be absolutely nothing in the in the browser here. If we look at the browser, these are all the transactions that were synced for the other address to and from. If we look at watched ETH address, this is where all the watched addresses will come into the. If we expand this here, you can see there's only one address here, and this is our favorite address with the FOB at the end. If we search this new address, this is a 93. Press run. It'll spin for a moment while it does the address sync and spit out a bunch of transactions. We have 55 for this address. So that's great. This is how we'll be doing searching. And funny enough, this is a bulk of the Moralis code. Pretty much most of the rest of it is all React. So it's super quick. It's amazing how fast you can build things out with Moralis. So let's go back to our code instance here and change directories into the Moralis project, npm start. Just to make sure things are running. Good. All right. So there's a couple other things that we'll need to in order to set stuff up. If we go into the public directory here, under index.html, we'll be using some Bootstrap for styling. We won't use that a whole lot of that to begin with. Let's just bring up the Bootstrap. Getting started. Download. And we'll just copy the CDN links back into our dev instance here and copy these in. Probably want to change the title here. Etherscan. Save this. We don't need any of this other stuff that's in the app.js here either. We can get rid of that too. We won't be using that. Here, let's just get rid of all of this. Great. All right, so we got the different environments set up. We outlined some goals. We're going to be creating the transaction list and doing some pagination. And next time we'll get started on building some components to display our transactions. So that's it for this video, and we'll catch you guys next time.